Live?
They're on now.
Okay.
And now we're live. Ultra Podcast Z, episode 51.1. Best content on the internet right here, guaranteed. Guaranteed by A to J Connections. Oh gosh, it's Friday. What is it? The 21st. I keep thinking it's the 22nd. I wish it was the 22nd.
It is the 22nd.
Oh, it's the 22nd for Heidi. Because I love repetitions of twos.
Here.
So it would have been 12/22 and it would have been 2/22. So yeah, it's the 21st here, 22nd in Japan. Here it's 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and we are live. We have a show tonight. It's the last one of the year. So it's like, we gotta make it big. We got with the bang. I should have brought some poppers. I actually meant to buy a lot of things for this one and I didn't forget. I was sick. Okay, I didn't mean Cheeto Puffs.
I have strawberry daifuku.
Oh my god, I didn't... Oh, there was that podcast that had all these snacks here and I didn't eat them and now I don't have... Oh, I have Bean Boozled.
Hi, Ed.
I have Bean Boozled. I could like eat this and eat
I
like...
really like Bean Boozled for the...
We're doing Bean Boozled at ALA. But anyway, as always, I'm Manuel, leader of AJ Connections, the host here. Hello, Heidi from the future. Hello, Manuel Konaru from today. I'm Manuel, the leader of AJ Connections. And as always, I am joined by Konaru.
Hi guys, my name is Konaru Kitty. I do idol things and I run an idol festival. And Manuel bought someone presents but didn't give everyone else presents, so we're all boycotting. Please join our cause. Down below, just go to www.boycott-ajconnections.com to support our cause. Thank you.
Oh my god. Don't cheer that, Heidi. And usually, I think actually all the 0.5s, I'm lying, there was one with Tiffany, but I think almost all the recent 0.5 episodes have all been Heidi episodes because of her schedule, so it's 0.5, yeah. So Heidi 0.5, that's your, because you're a 2.5D idol. I don't know.
Exactly.
2.5D, there's a right turn to it. Get it right.
Is there really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why has nobody... Heidi, why haven't you corrected me? I've always said 2.5D. No, and actually, now that I think about it, I think Molly says 2.5D also when we do the 2D panel. I'm just saying. Anyhow.
Translating things is hard. I just leave it as it is.
Oh, Heidi. Well, introduce yourself, Heidi.
Hi, I'm Heidi. Bye.
Bye. So,
okay, now do an idol Heidi introduction.
Idol Heidi. Oh god. How do I do that?
I have to work. We're making her work today.
I'm Heidi. That's not my idol voice. It's not high pitched enough. How do I do this? Hi, I'm Heidi. I don't know what to do after that.
I'll take it.
That was good enough.
I'm here.
I see Ed in the chat. Chat is open. YouTube is open if you're on YouTube. What's I gonna say? Everything's open. Talk, chat, whatever at us. We don't have... I was gonna start mentioning our sponsors. We still don't have a sponsor. Not that I'm actively looking at the moment. But
I sponsor A to J. www.boycott-aj.com.
Stop that!
Sponsors A to J Connections, so please check us out. Thanks.
But as of now, we are sponsored by you, the people watching us, and the people supporting us on Patreon. Patreon.com/A2J-Connections if you want to join that crew, the very exclusive crew. But for tonight's show, we have a few things we're going to talk about. We've already gone through the intro, so we're going to talk about some co-host stuff, like basically talk about Heidi a bit. We have some recent news roundup. There's a lot. Actually, we have some stuff that we didn't write down here, so we might wing that a little. And then we have Heidi's take on the RPG Monger's idol culture video. She didn't watch it, but
I didn't watch it.
I'm gonna.
No, I was supposed to.
But I'm going. That's actually a holdover from a podcast from like weeks ago that we didn't do. But we're gonna discuss some of the points that were made, and we'll just get her opinion on some of them. Being that she happens to know a thing or two, just a thing or two though, about idols, right? Just
a little bit.
Yeah. So anyhow, and we're talking about how the Idol fandom changed in 2018, the rise of K-pop in 2018, the best and worst J-pop moments in 2018, our favorite songs, artists, MVs of 2018, and predictions for 2019. In other words, we're going to do a lot of the same stuff that we did earlier in the week, this time with Heidi. And also, if you watched last week's podcast, we kind of ran out of time to kind of rush through the last few. We spent a lot of time talking about Megan's abs, and also talking about...
It wasn't even last week. It was like a few days ago.
Oh yeah, it was a few days ago. And also about Heidi, how do you pronounce Megan?
Megan?
Yeah. Do you say Megan or do you say Megan?
Who are we talking about?
We had a host on. Well, how do you say the name in general?
I don't know who you're talking about.
We had a friend named Megan. Megan.
Hi. We're talking about Megan from PG Parade.
Yeah. And
I still don't know
TLDR.
them. Okay.
TLDR. Everybody was making fun of me because I say Megan, like Megan.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always said that. And everybody was like, no, the proper way to say it is Megan, like Meg, and then Megan.
Oh, okay. I understand your question now. Okay. How do I say it? Megan.
Well,
It's probably Megan for me too.
See, yeah, you do.
Maybe it's a California thing.
Exactly. I was thinking that too because I'm like, I asked a few other people. They're like, yeah, it's Megan, and I'm like, y'all are just crazy outside of California. Y'all over here with your Wawas and your Megans and calling names. Anyway, that's a random aside. I just wanted to get that in there because it's been bothering me the past few days. It really has. So Heidi, before we jump into our big topics, tell us about some recent stuff with you because I know a lot of stuff's been going on.
A lot of stuff has been going on. So recently, most recent important thing that happened is I participated in an event that happened on Lion Live, which is like another streaming platform, mainly on your phone. And basically the event was to decide 2 people to perform at an event that's happening in next week, actually a week from today, in Akihabara. And I wound up getting second place, which means I get to perform for 10 minutes.
Oh, that's great.
Yay, very excited.
I was really worried about you. I remember you posting it on Instagram, and I was like, "Oh no, Heidi! I went to like work my way around so I can vote for you and see if it can make a difference." And I'm glad it did.
Yeah, it worked out. I'm very happy.
Yeah, I've been out of it for a lot of reasons for the past few weeks, and so I've been feeling this has been like the first real week I've been doing a lot of catch up with I guess not just this week, but most of the past few days, I've been doing a lot of catch up and things I've been missing, like mainly with friends and stuff like that. I'm like, oh my god, all this shit's happening with Heidi. Like when I was like, when I went to check in on you, I'm like, oh my god, there's a lot of things happening. I'm like, I missed a lot. Like December was the month of Heidi. I swear to God. So yeah. So
it's officially been 2 years since I came to Japan too. So
it has. I wanted to I thought it was weird that I posted about that because I actually have a post from A to J when you were leaving. And I was gonna post about it, but I was also busy that day. But I was like, oh shit, it's been 2 years. That's insane.
Yeah. It is. And I got a bunny.
You got a bunny. The bunny's
I got a bunny.
It was funny when I saw the post and I'm like, wait, are you just playing with the bunny or did you have a bunny?
No, it's my bunny. Should I bring him out?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I will be right back. We'll get the bunny. Hold on, I'm gonna go get the bunny.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay.
That's
I want to see a bunny.
Yes.
Bunnies are the
He's gonna
best.
be upset me picking him up, but it's okay.
It's fine. The bunny will forgive you.
Yeah.
It's funny because I used to have a bunny when I was younger, and the bunny.
I was about to say, did you keep the bunny in the closet?
No, I thought that was the closet too. I think it's another room for the record. The closet's the room on the right, but I see a bunny. But I had a couple bunnies when I was younger, actually. Which would be fair, they're my sisters. But oh my god, it's a bunny! We're gonna officially win the internet right now because bunnies are the best.
I have a bunny now.
Yeah, I was telling Konaru I used to have a couple bunnies. Well, my sister had some bunnies, but she had a weird living arrangement, so like the bunnies were mostly at home where I was at. And I love bunnies, and like yeah, just like that. I remember I would put the bunny on my chest, and I would just sit there for like an hour, just petting the bunny, and I'm like, oh my god.
What's his name?
His name is Uncle. Don't eat my headphones.
I know, eat the cord, it's fine. Don't eat the cord.
It's bad for them.
It's bad for them.
Oh, look at the bunny. Oh my god, that's so
Very fluffy.
How much?
I want a bunny.
Hmm?
What'd you say?
Hama is shaking.
Oh, she's shaking.
No, Hama.
Oh, Hama.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
He's shaking.
oh.
Hama is shaking.
Is this the new AJ mascot? Oh, sorry, we're really like I kind of forgot we were doing a podcast. I thought we were just looking at bunnies. Yeah, like this is the new AJ mascot. Is like is Uncle Chan.
Yes.
Uncle Chan's the new.
Vote down below for the new mascot. Shall Hama remain queen, or will Heidi's bun take the crown away?
Uncle Chan. She's a girl, right? And she's a girl. Like
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know.
It's still a baby, so you can't really tell.
Oh.
It seems. I think it's a boy.
Oh.
Not sure. You can't tell for like another month or two.
Oh.
Is what the people.
Oh, so it's a newborn, or not like?
Yeah, it's only like a month and a half, maybe 2 months old.
That's pretty
Oh.
big
You can't tell
for
until
that's
you
a pretty
get
big for a small bunny. But then again, like I've only have limited
He's
experience.
also like 75% fur, so
I know I was about to say like, I don't know how fluffy how much of that's just fluff.
a lot of it is fluff.
It's funny because like we had Ren on recently, and Ren has a bunny now, so it's like there's all these podcast bunnies. It's like
Yay! Podcast money.
we should what was that? A to J podcasts, A to J pod bunnies or something. That'll
Pod
be
buns.
pod buns. That'll be a new podcast. But
Just
no,
have like a what do you call it? One of those cameras like at the corner of the screen where it just like it's like a bunny cam.
it's a bunny
Yes.
cam.
Yes, bunny camp.
It's funny because I guess I used to have a bunny, and like it's kind of sad. The story doesn't end. The two bunny stories don't end that well. The first one this happened to both bunnies. The first one we ended up moving it to my grandfather's house because I mentioned my sister had weird living like she was living with someone else who was at school for a while, and so I was basically taking care of the bunny, but I was a small kid. So we moved it to my grandfather's house, and then like he would let it run wild, and we'd all visit it there, and like it grew pretty feral after a while, and it just became like a wild bunny. Yeah, and it escaped one day.
No.
Yeah, and I apparently that happens with like I don't know if that's like somebody corrected me like, oh, bunnies aren't rodents. They're of the same whatever, but they're not rodents. But apparently that happens with a lot of rodenty animals. That if you let them free for too long, it doesn't take very long for them to like go back to the natural ways. And after a while, she wouldn't want to be picked up, and she wouldn't want to do, she wasn't very nice, and then she just ran away. But the other bunny, who kind of got a little feral too, because the exact same thing happened. That bunny was so mean. It was the friendliest bunny ever, but like, both of them knew how to get out their cages, but that first bunny was so lazy, it very rarely did. And like, don't get me wrong, we would lock it, and like with the lock, but it was like a kid lock. Like, the kind you get with those little keys, like you put in a diary or something like that. And it would just, like, chew through it. And,
Oh my god.
yeah, but the second one would always escape. And it would, this sounds weird, and it probably makes it sound, like, pretty ghetto or whatever, but when I was a kid, like, my bed frame was, like, on cinder blocks. And, yeah, so, like, the bunny would, like, I would come, and the bunny would always be sleeping in the cinder blocks of my bed, like, with the little, like, the gap. And it was the cutest thing, but because it was there all day, it would like just poop and pee under my bed, for until I come home and catch it. I'm like, oh my god, the bunny's been living under my bed again. And
No, this bunny does the same thing. Like when I let it out from its cage, he'll run under my bed, and there's like a bunch of stuff that I basically use under my bed as a storage area.
Yes.
Since there's like one very small closet, and like it just sits on everything and poops on it, and I'm just like, please stop.
No, oh my god, the same things. I was about to say, huh?
No, I was gonna say that's the worst thing ever when like any pet like it just goes under the bed and it poops or pees and like you can't even reach under because like my dog used to do that.
No, because like
at least bunny poops aren't that stinky.
Yeah, and they're like little pellets.
Little pellets, yeah.
But I remember I also kept things under my bed too because I don't think I so much didn't have the space. I would just put things under there because I was very hermity, like put my books or whatever I was reading or what I was listening to. And I remember, like, I used to play Dungeons and Dragons a lot when I was younger. And I still have these books somewhere, like, not where I could just grab them, but I still have these books somewhere, like, around, like, pretty close, where they're chewed on in the corner, and then, like, peed on in another corner, from, like, the bunny just like, oh, it's the books! I'm gonna chew and pee on them. And then, yeah, and I remember, like, I had, like, the Star Wars soundtrack on vinyl, because I was a big Star Wars nerd when I was a kid. And it peed all over that. And I was just like, oh, yes. No. And I was like, oh my god. And I remember I was just so upset. And like, and it wasn't even my bunny. It kind of was, like I said, because my sister was gone. But I was still like, this isn't even my bunny. It's peeing on everything. But it was the cutest, most docile bunny. You couldn't stay mad at it. It was like, oh. It's like, it's okay. It's okay you ruined so many priceless irreplaceable items. It's okay. I still love you.
I think Bunny wants to go back.
Okay, you can put it back. We could actually, we could go back to the podcast. People are still watching. Okay, good. No one left.
We'll have to get like a big can going next time.
Yeah, next time.
Go ahead and put the bunny back, and I'll the second bunny, FYI, in case you're wondering, Konaru, I'll tell Heidi when she gets back. The second bunny, it didn't, I don't think it, I want to say that bunny just, I don't know how long bunnies live. I don't want to say it died of old age, but we had it for maybe 2 or 3 years and it died.
That sounds pretty
It sounds normal to me, because like after having hamsters, like I'd be damn lucky if a hamster lived 2 years. But I'd like to think a bunny would probably live more like 5, but then again, I don't know.
Here, I'm looking it up now.
Yeah, I'm like, how long does the bunny live? Does my bunny not live a full bunny life?
2 years. Yeah, that's pretty normal.
Oh, then yeah, my bunny lived to old age. The second one did. The first one just ran off. I was just telling them, TLDR, the second bunny died of old age after a while. And I guess it's not a sad story. It's just that it's no longer with us. But obviously, it wouldn't be. I'm talking about a bunny from when I was like,
wrong.
Oh,
I read it wrong. 1 to 2 years in the wild.
Oh. How long does it live?
If it's a pet bunny and it's well taken care of, it can last up to 7 to 10 years.
Okay, see then, yeah, it didn't live very long. I think
wow, what are you admitting to then?
I used to have ducks when I was a kid. I think I told the story on a really old podcast. I used to have ducks when I was a kid.
You used to have ducks?
Yeah, and I used to think that, and we used to have them swim, because they were ducklings, I should say, actually, to be more accurate. And I used to have this pool, like not a pool, like. I don't know how else to describe it. Like this little tub. Imagine like a big Tupperware type thing. And I think it was actually like wash your feet in, by the way. Anyway, so I used to have that full of water and we let the ducks swim in it. And my grandfather, one thing, because I was like take care of them at his house, would always tell me like, make sure you take them out because they're really small and they can't get out on their own. So I took them out. But then one day I guess I was playing with them and I didn't. And one of the ducks drowned, and I was so sad and like so upset. God. Yeah.
Manuel.
No, but the other duck was the most amazing duck. That duck lived like a pretty It's kind of funny how the story ends. It's kind of sad actually, but the duck grew up. The other duck, and it was always. And I chased it around. It chased me, and it would try to peck at me, and I tried to peck at it because I was like 6, by the way, and I love that duck, and it got really big. Like it was probably like as big as me, like no joke. 'Cause I was like, I was believe it or not, I was actually a really small kid until I got to a certain age, and the duck was like really. I remember I was able to hug it, and it was like almost like hugging someone my size.
What were you, like 2 years old?
I was like 5 or 6. I actually have a picture of the duck. I have a picture of me and the duck somewhere, and I should the duck was. No, to be fair, the duck was huge. Like I see the picture now, and I can kind of tell by like the wall we're against, and I'm like, no, that duck was big for a duck. And we sent it when it got really big. They're like, what do we do with it? It's too big to like keep, and we don't know what to do. It's like it's gonna eat our son after a while or something like that. So we let it. So my.
So,
Huh?
and just saying, there's a cosplaying duck that goes to Fandom and other events.
Tito the
Tito
duck.
the duck. I've seen that duck at
I've
Fandom.
never seen the cos. I want to see the cosplaying duck.
I've seen it.
But so my parents like let it loose at like this park that had all these ducks, and like at the time I thought it was so cute. Like, oh, the duck's gonna be amongst this other ducks. And we go back to the park, and my mom be like, oh, look, it's your duck, and I go and I feed the duck. But when I grew up and I got a lot older, I'm like, my mom admitted that she didn't really know what my duck looked like. She would just tell like any duck, that's my duck. And I'm like, my poor duck, I had no idea how to fend for itself in the wild. And
He probably died.
yeah, I will say at best it got mixed in, and I was never feeding my own duck again. I never saw it again. At worst, it probably died like right after. But that's my duck story. Duck was named Tony, by the way.
Yes. Oh my god, that's a good duck name.
Yeah, that was Tony the duck. Anyway.
I remember
What?
in elementary school, in my elementary school class, one of our kids, a bunch of the kids in our class had farms. So they would sometimes, when there would be like newborn animals, they would bring them into our classroom, and we would like raise the animals as a class. So we had like ducks, and we had chickens, and we had like geese, and we had all kinds of different animals that we were just raising as a class for a while.
That's what you do. I like
That's
that.
so cute. That's so weird, though. I started laughing during your story, by the way.
It was in a very an area that had a lot of livestock and stuff being raised around the school. So yeah.
You want to know my similar version to that? This is why I started laughing. When I was in like, I don't even know what it was, show and tell, and I want to say it was like, I was kind of old. It was still elementary school, it was like 4th or 5th grade. And one of the kids, he brought in a pregnant cockroach that he had caught. That was giving birth. That was like in the middle of giving birth. Yes, and that's the inner city version of that story. And I'm not making this up. That's why I started laughing, because I was going to tell that story anyway. But then when you told yours, it's like, oh my god, like we literally lived 2 different lives, like in elementary school or whatever this was. I'm like, that's literally the complete antithesis of what you just said. And I don't remember. I think the teacher did kind of freak out a bit, and then we all just took it out. Then we took it out and we killed it. Like,
oh my god!
I mean, what else were we gonna do? It's like it was giving birth. That school was gonna be like covered in roaches in a second. And
true, but like, oh my god.
So I'm like, no, and I think we were all like, why did you bring that? And like, yeah. We were all poor, and that kid probably thought it was cool. I don't know how we caught it. That's actually the biggest part of the story, that when I think back on the story, I'm like, how did you catch that roach? I mean, like, how many roaches did you have in your house that apparently one of them was so cool with being around people that you were able to get close enough to it to catch it, like, intact? Because, like, I don't know about you, but, like, usually I turn on a light, and if thank God I haven't had roaches, like, in years, so I'm probably going to see one tonight, watch. But like, you know, I haven't seen a roach really in a house in a while. But if you turn on a light, it's like it bolts. It's gone. It's like, oh, gotta move. That roach is still alive. Someone's gonna crawl out when I'm asleep. But anyway, we have a podcast, believe it or not.
This is a podcast.
Oh my god!
If
If you watch through that and you're on YouTube, then you win a prize. Message me for your prize. You can get you can get a unicorn gigapet that I have several of.
Oh my god!
It's a long story. I won't tell that story. I'll save it for another podcast. But yeah, I have a lot of unicorn gigapets right now. But I'm so out of it. I need to go back to what the hell our actual topics are. So news roundup. Oh my god, we're so out of it. So, there's a lot of things. First of all, Yuka from Juice, Yuka Miyazaki from Juice is graduating. They announced that like hours ago. And press F for respects, because that's really sad. And this also comes on the heels of, well, it's not like that recent, but it still comes on the heels of, help me out here, what's her name? The girl that, what's that girl's name? The young one, the one that's from Country Girls. Like, she's leaving too. Or did she already leave?
What's her name?
We interviewed her too. I can't remember her name.
Nanami.
Yeah.
No.
It's
Yeah,
not. It's
Nanami.
Nanami. Yeah. It's Yeah, Nanami. I don't. Yeah. She's leaving.
Yeah.
Or she might have already left. I don't
Yeah.
know, but she's leaving too. So now Juice is back to 5 members, but one of them is not original, and that's like so unusual to me. And we interviewed them like last year, so press F for respects. And yes, just a lot of Fs. So if I'll put a link in the description below. We interviewed them. Fun fact: I think I told the story in the previous one when it happened.
Isn't capitalized.
Oh, I guess I don't care that much.
Oh my god.
When we did the interview, poor Yuka looked so sick. But apparently that's her way. Like when we did the interview, like until we started, like literally until we started, she was like bundled up and she was like sitting like as if she was cold. It was hot as hell in Taiwan, by the way. It was nowhere near cold, and but she was like bundled up and she was like she was curled up too, like very curled up, and she was like this, like, and she was sitting in the corner, and then like she was like the whole time until we started, and then when we started, she took everything off, and then she like she kind of like got into her mode, and then she went back and did the interview, but and then when we were done, the second we were done. And we were just talking. We were still like hanging around, talking to people about like when's gonna be up, who we have to email, whatever. And when we said bye to them, she had already bundled up again.
That's a mood though.
Like, but I was talking to Tiffany
Same.
and some other people. They're like, oh, I think that's just their way. Like fans have noticed it too. Like she's always kind of like she's like that at handshake events or whatever. So but yeah, so there's that. It's sad because people pointed out that people are saying she's leaving because she's 25. And it goes back to the whole Christmas cake thing, which I'm sure you guys know what that is. But I always
Merry Christmas.
No, I like bringing it up because like it's always shocked. Well, to be fair, I'd heard about it through a different way, but like when our Japanese professor, like when I took J1 or something like that, when she brought it up and she explained what it was, like no one knew what it was. And every so often when I bring it up in panels, I don't think I do anymore. I haven't brought it up in forever. Whenever I bring it up in panels, like no one knows what it is either. But yeah, you know what it is, right, Heidi, Konaru? If not through anything else, you know it because of me. If not, but you guys probably knew before. I'll give the really fast version for the people who don't know, either in the chat or on YouTube. A Christmas cake, is a thing. Oh, are you gonna get a Christmas cake for Christmas, Heidi? Are you gonna get one?
I should.
You should. I should get mine too.
I should. I got one last year.
Yeah, I got one. Usually, like where I get it, I have to pre-order it, and I just remembered this second when I'm talking about Christmas cakes. Like, oh my god, I didn't do it. I hope they're still taking pre-orders this weekend. Oh my god. Anyway, I have to just pick up one of the crappy ones they have there, like at the day of. But anyway, Christmas cakes are big in Japan, or they're big in Asia actually. I remember like Korea has them too. So and China does as well. So you buy a cake, you have that for Christmas, and the day after Christmas, they go on sale. They go like half off, like anything else does. And that's when it's tied. It's not just tied to idols. It's also tied to like it used to be like a thing in the 80s in Japan, in the 90s as well. It's tied to women, like unmarried women who are 25. When they hit 25, it's like, oh, you're a Christmas cake because like now you lose half your prospects or whatever, so to speak, or you're worth half as much. And I think I told you I discovered this term because like it was in a book and it was a very like it was a very like from a very feminist angle, like rightly so for the record, and it did point out that even though this doesn't really exist in the culture, because obviously people marry a lot older in Japan or have kids a lot older in Japan, it still exists in idols, unspokenly. And here's an example. Press F for respects.
Press F.
Press F.
Hentai Heaven is gone. Did you guys ever use Hentai Heaven?
No.
Nope.
No, I
I've
never
heard of it.
No, it's funny because like the universe is going crazy about that right now, especially like Frontier or whatever. Heidi probably doesn't. Heidi, not to say you look up your hentai at all, but you probably wouldn't know anyway because it's a very Western thing. But the internet's going.
I'd heard of it.
Yeah,
the
same thing. But it's like I don't know. Maybe it's maybe I'm just not too well versed in my my internet lewds. But it's just like I don't know. And one last thing, I'm going to just blow through because I don't feel like talking the whole story that I was going to. Also, because we talked a lot about bunnies. There's a company
And
called
cockroaches.
Yes, and cockroaches giving birth to the school. There's a company called Morning Musume Germany. That's
Yeah, that's so weird.
and it's so funny because like, okay, actually I will talk about this a little because when I talked to oh god, I almost said his name. He's not with the company anymore, but I won't say any names. Okay, I won't say any names. So when I was talking to the guy who used to be in charge of the Hello Project overseas stuff, we had a couple meetings via Skype where we would talk about things, and a lot of like my current mindsets with how to do interviews, how to conduct yourself in Japan, especially Japan, stem from these meetings. And one of the things he mentioned were people that upload things illegally, which they are, but that's the word he always used, illegally, to YouTube. And it was very awkward because like people like Tipu at the time had all this concert footage. And I'm like, Tipu, you have to take all that down. He put it all in private or whatever, but I'm like, you have to take it all down. It's like, I don't want him to find your channel and then like, you know, not that they would, but just in case. And it's funny because like he mentioned it at one point that basically they're just like they're probably the worst in their eyes. It's so hard for them because they don't have the time or the manpower to shut down each person uploading a video. So what I find funny about the whole Morning Musume Germany thing isn't so much the Morning Musume Germany thing, because that's one person. But what I find hilarious is that it was uncovered because somebody was uploading the Ikubu Haruna concert to YouTube. And I'm all like, I mean, does nobody see the irony? Like, I don't want to point it out like on.
I see the irony, but it's just like, you know, in a way, I'm kind of thankful that someone actually did that and like took notice of it, because then we wouldn't have like all this revelation. Like, let's be real.
Nothing's gonna come of it though. The thing is, the only way to really combat this kind of thing is to give yourself a presence, and I don't think Upfront really cares about like some of these markets that they're not in. And somebody pointed it out in the chat, and it's funny because I don't know how they know that, but I knew it already. Upfront doesn't have like, you would think they do, but they don't have like this whole team of lawyers like a lot of companies do, or a lot of labels do. They just have a couple like advisors that are like contractual, and like, so I don't think they even have the ability to go after them if they wanted. I'm sure they knew about it before. I wouldn't be surprised if they upload a video and then Morning Musume Germany like tags them, and they're probably like, "What the fuck? Like, who's this?" But what can they do? I don't know.
I mean, I'd fund like if like Upfront started like a GoFundMe, like help us take down Morning Musume Germany. I would just like donate. I'd just donate like $100. No lie.
God. Just donate the $100 to boycott A to J Connections because Manuel gives gifts to other members.
www.boycottajconnections.com.
FYI, in case you guys are wondering, I gave some show era idol stuff to Max. You might know her as like a frequent co-host in the past, and Konaru and Sylvia are upset by that. And Heidi should be upset too.
Like,
yeah, I'm also upset.
Chat going, and we're just like, okay, guys, how do we take down Manuel?
No, the funny thing about Heidi is that, and it was funny that I talked
Manuel has like 5 billion presents for me that he's never given to. He's on set being like, "Oh, I got you this present."
And it's funny.
And then he never gives it to me.
And okay, I didn't. It's funny because I got her a present for like Christmas years ago, or like the year before she left or whatever, or something like that. And I was just like, "Oh, I didn't give it to you because, you know, like I forgot it when I saw you at a con." Then I got her something for her birthday. Mm-hmm. Then I got her something when she was leaving. And then it gets better because I thought that I lost it, but I forgot it again. And I didn't think I was going to see her again in the U.S. And then we were going to see her again after all. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting something else, like as well, to make up that I forgot the first time. So it was even growing. And then I forgot everything. And then, yeah, and then like, I think your first Christmas you were in Japan, I got you a gift again. And I'm like, I'm going to mail it all to you. And then that was your fault, I think, because you were like moving around, or you didn't. I think you were like, "Oh, I'll give you the address later." You just never did. That's your fault. I'm calling you on that. And then
I will tell you my address after this.
And it's funny because then after
you will
a while,
have no excuses.
Yeah. And then every so often I come across things like, "Oh, I might have to give this to Heidi," and like, and then
that's how I feel.
Yeah. But to be honest, there's never anything I have like I meant to give this Konaru because I never meant to give you anything.
Wow, hurt.
Horrible person.
No, but
They need to fire you.
But they have been
This is
similar.
why I started the boycott.
But there have been similar piles like that. But Heidi's is the worst because it's the most long running too. And the funny thing is, I don't think I've ever given Heidi anything. Like, actually, no, I'm lying. I gave you stuff from Taiwan to
You
Japan.
gave me, yeah,
Yeah.
gave me like a Nico phone strap.
Oh, I did. You're right.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's funny because I was looking for that because I was like, did I give that to someone else? Because that's always been my big fear that I'm re-gifting some of your gifts. But so far I don't think I have, and that was the one I thought I gave away to someone else. So I'm like, oh,
Yeah, you gave me a Nico phone strap and like the Sid phone strap or something.
okay. So I actually gave you some things. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Good.
Gave me something.
Good. I just want to make sure that I'm not like not being a total monster here. Once again, help, please, Phil Swift. Phil Swift. That's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage.
Oh, that's like that's the drunk meme of the year for ADJ Connections, as far as I'm concerned. Every time I was like partying at a con, I made everyone watch the JonTron flex tape video, and I'm sure it was the best. Have you ever seen it, Heidi?
Yeah,
Isn't it the best?
yeah, it is. It is.
It's like, have you heard of Jesus? Even he can't do everything flex tape can. There's so many quotes. That's the one I always quote that. Whenever we go to like Walmart or Home Depot and we see the big flex tape displays, we're like, have you heard of Jesus? Yeah, we're obnoxious. Don't ever go out in public with us. Like me and my stupid friends who just like live that fucking video. Anyway, there's so many. I don't want to turn into a flex tape video, but anyway, so let's jump into some other stuff. Any other news before we move on?
AKB is gonna have
yes.
a group festival thing with all like the overseas sister groups, which include JKT, BNK, Team SH, Team TP, MNL, and SGO. So you can go to they have like a special website for it too, and surprisingly they have English translation and like Chinese translation for everything. And yeah, I'm super excited because this is something I've actually really, really wanted for like a very long time.
You should go.
Like ever since I wanted to go. I was really thinking about it, and then I realized it's very soon. It's actually next month.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, maybe not.
I will go as the AJ representative.
Just go. Where is it again?
Okay.
You said it's in.
It's in Bangkok. Yeah, it's taking place in Bangkok.
Okay, never mind.
Basically, where BNK is. So, because they're like the most I think they're the most successful sister group, honestly. Well, overseas sister group, and yeah. If you can go, I guess you can go, but be sure to get me some of that exclusive Asian Festival merch.
Bangkok's pretty cheap. Let's just all go to Bangkok.
Okay, work trip.
I think the exchange rate's even better than Taiwan. Like it's insane. At least in my experience, it's also a lot less. I don't know. It depends where you go, but it's Anyway, Bangkok's interesting. I'll look into that. Maybe I'll just randomly go to Bangkok next month. I probably won't.
Yeah.
The RPG Monger video about idol culture. There's a few things that he had to say. Heidi didn't watch it. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot about it myself. So we're not gonna go too far in depth into it. But there's a few things I wanted to ask to get Heidi's take on, and there were a lot of interesting things. Now, my favorite is that a lot of his points center on the fan, or a lot of things about the modern idols center on how it caters to to WOTA, and he structures it very much like weird Japan with all these older men fawning after younger girls and everything like that, and makes it very weird, creepy Japan, and
Hate that.
yeah, it's obnoxious, it's very unrepresentative, and also.
Racist.
Also, the part that the whole thing is pretty bad, and mentions a lot about the idol stuff. Now, I thought this was really funny, and I guess you're not to the level where this is probably something you'd experience at all, but maybe you have an insight on this as well. like one of the things he points out is like the idol schedule about like how idols don't have like don't have the time to like to have a normal life.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a couple things about that. One, I like how everyone who uses those quotes about like, oh, they put they fill your schedule full of everything. They get the handsome hairdressers. They give you all the candy and the treats you want in the green room, etc. All these stem from like one idol in one interview in one article. Like they all source the same thing. And also, I find it funny that he makes these points, and then he contradicts himself by pointing out like the dating scandals and the dating all this other nonsense, and I'm like, all of that just contradicts itself, and I don't know. Heidi, how do you see the idol fandom? And by the way, this ties in to our next topic, so I'm curious what your take on the idol fandom is in general. Do you think it's as toxic and as manipulative, of the idols themselves as some people like to see it as?
No.
You find it supportive?
Yeah.
I mean, like, don't you think it's?
I mean, there's the creeper every now and then.
But there's like a creeper in everything.
There's the obsessive fans that are like legit in love with you and stuff. That can be a bit much to deal with, but like, I mean, unless you're a super duper successful idol, I mean, a lot of people do it almost as a hobby, I feel like nowadays. And like even with groups that are fairly successful, it's not like, I feel like nowadays a lot of like management people are more understanding to the point to like know that the girls, they have their own lives. They still have to go to school, or some of them, they don't make enough as an idol to live off of, so they have to work as well. I don't know. The people I know do idol stuff on a bigger level than me. They all seem to, still be able to enjoy their own life while doing idol stuff. So
exactly, I don't understand. Like, I don't understand. Yeah. I don't understand the concept of like, how do I say this? And also the whole thing about bringing up WOTA as if they're a new phenomenon. It's like, WOTA in general. And also, I always have to point out that the video did not say WOTA, just kept calling them otaku, which is whatever. But just FYI, in case you wonder why I'm saying WOTA if you're watching this on YouTube or whatever. Like, WOTA have always been there. WOTA have been like, the WOTA for idols have been there literally since like Seiko Matsuda day one, probably before that even. So it's just bad research, and that leads us into our next topic, because unfortunately Heidi didn't watch the video. I don't remember the video that well to bring up all the points, except that it was very ill-informed, and you know what? Now that I think about it, I'm going to attack that video in an actual video, like in an edited video one of these days. So that'll be my New Year's resolution for 2019, to put a good rebuttal video back. Anyhow.
Yeah.
So let's look back on 2019. Before we talk about some of our topics, I thought I'd bring up one that I totally forgot to mention. Heidi, what was your best and worst moment of 2019?
You mean 2018?
2018! From the future, because you're in Japan, Heidi.
Future. What was my best moment? That's hard. My worst moment was probably getting like, I don't even know what to call it. I almost got an ulcer, and I was like dying from stomach pain for like a month. Oh my god. So that's probably my worst moment. That was last month.
Oh, is that when you couldn't be on the podcast? You were like dying?
Yeah, because I was dying.
Oh my god.
It's okay, Heidi. You know what happened to me like a week ago? I found out I was allergic to macadamia nuts. And yeah.
She almost died.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I'm glad you're okay.
I'm okay now.
No, there's this meme.
But I had like the really bad stomach pain that like I can understand what you went through just in those span of 10 minutes.
Not to interrupt Heidi, but there's this meme I wanted to bring up that made me think of you, and I'll put a like link somehow below, like something. There's a meme that I saw today that made me think of you, and it was somebody at a Chinese restaurant, and they were all like, "This is good restaurantship right here," because he told the waitress that like I can't have shellfish in my food, and so like the note on his like shrimp fried rice or whatever it was just fried rice, because obviously if it's shrimp, don't order that. It was like, no shrimp at all or he dies. That was the order to the note to the staff. It's like no shrimp at all or he dies. And it's like, and the whole point of the thing was, by the way, was like, that's how you just be straight up to your kitchen staff, and that's good restauranting. And I thought of that, and like, if only somebody had told them no macadamia. I know you just ordered it at Starbucks, but whatever. But Konaru almost died.
And I got one of those peanut butter cookies, and I actually asked for a chocolate chunk cookie, but he gave me a peanut butter one. I was like, I guess that's fine because I've had nuts before, so I ate it, and then like 15 minutes later, I was in agony.
Oh no!
So yeah, that's why I say like, don't feel bad because I understand what you basically went through with like pain level wise, because like yeah.
So,
that sounds very bad.
So besides almost dying, yeah.
That's one though. I really enjoyed. I went to Tamara Yukari had this like festival thing she did called Yukari Fest.
Oh yeah.
Basically, it was a fest, but she was every single person. Like she was every single group that appeared in the festival. So she changed outfits like 6 times and pretended to be 6 different people.
That's cool.
And did this like giant festival. It was great.
Oh my god.
That was probably my highlight of 2018.
Oh my god.
Was Yukari Fest.
And Hey Ant is in the chat now. There's a couple of people in the chat. FYI, we're just talking about our best and worst moments of 2018 and other nonsense. We already told ours last time. A couple days ago. But, God, what's my story? I was going to tell a story right there. I totally burped. Did anyone hear that? I wanted to burp on the podcast. I said I had to burp because I'm like, I wanted to be like Ren and everyone else who like, and Sylvia. Are you going to burp now?
Shut up, Manuel.
Anyway, do we have any other best and worst moments? I don't think we do because I don't even remember what the ones I said. Do you have anything else to add, Heidi? I mean, Heidi. I called you Heidi, by the way, Konaru. Before we move on.
I know what you meant, but no, I told mine last week. I forgot, or not last week. But
see, I like how we both forgot even what we said. But I will tell this story, which is the one I was going to say after Heidi told her stomach ulcer thing. Have you guys ever had migraines? Like a real migraine?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
So, I had this ex-girlfriend. It's a really short story. I'm going to tell this story pretty fast. This ex-girlfriend, she'd always, like, complain about migraines and how bad they were. And, like, I'll admit, I was one of these people. Like, oh, it's just a bad headache. Oh, it's just a bad headache. Why do people complain that much? So, one day, I think it was by myself, too. Like, she went to go visit her parents somewhere. Like, she was gone for the weekend. I was, like, by myself for, like, a weekend. And I got this really bad headache. And I was like, oh my god. Like, it feels like my head's gonna explode. So I'm going insane. And I'm like, oh my god, this won't stop. And like, I had some painkillers for some other thing I had happen, so I was taking some painkillers. And it was just making me sick. And then I ended up just vomiting, and my head was throbbing. And like, I was like, I'm gonna go to sleep and try to sleep it off. I couldn't sleep. And I was just tossing and turning. And I was like, I think I need to go to the hospital. And then I kind of just like eventually just passed out, and then I came to, and I'm like, oh my god! So I call my then girlfriend. I'm like, you won't believe what just happened. I thought I was dying, and blah blah blah. She's like, you had a migraine, and I'm like, oh my god, that's what you've been complaining about. It's like that's so much worse than I ever thought. Like I thought it was just a really bad headache that you just like take some Tylenol and go to sleep and stop complaining. That's the way I always thought a migraine was for like for my entire life until like this is like about 5 years ago, by the way. But for my entire life up to that point, I thought it was just a bad headache that people just complained about. But FYI, that's if you ever have a migraine, it's actually pretty terrible. Have you ever had a migraine that bad, Heidi, where you're just like you just want to die and you're vomiting everywhere?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, that was me. I thought I was dying. I'm like, I think this is it. This is how I go. My brain's gonna explode. Yeah, my brain's gonna explode. I'm gonna vomit everything out in the bathroom, and then I'm done. But no, I lived through it, and I realized that was a migraine. It's just, yeah. And I'm like, oh, now I sympathize with the rest of the world who apparently suffer from those on a regular basis. Like, I'm glad. That's my one migraine story in my life. That's my one. I have no idea what triggered it, but yeah, that was my one migraine story. Anyway. So now we're talking about the idol fandom in 2018. Now, this is an interesting topic that I actually meant to put in Tuesday's episode, and I forgot. Because there are a lot of shifts in the fandom, and I'm curious what Heidi's take on some of these are since she's in Japan. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna actually just tie them both together because our next topic I don't want to like retread on it completely, but I feel it's also tied in here. The next topic, of course, is K-pop in the re-rise of K-pop. Now, I'm curious, Heidi, has like
Mm-hmm.
K-pop, has the Korean wave taken hold again in Japan?
Yes.
Oh, really? Okay, like
100% yes.
like it's I imagine it's worse there because it's like it's like it's Asia, so I assume it's worse there because even here, even though K-pop is like actually no, it's not a niche anymore because I think K-pop is pretty mainstream here now.
It's
Like
very mainstream.
like
I
it's
don't know what you're
officially
talking-
mainstream. Like all the mainstream U.S. artists are doing collabs or talking about collabs or with them. So no, it's mainstream. I don't even know what I'm even trying to get at here. I was just like, oh, it's still a niche here. No, it's not. So the thing is, is I feel it's very much muddied the waters. I don't want to use that word 'cause that sounds too negative. It's very much changed the perception again of J-pop in general. Like I've mentioned this before, Heidi. I don't know if you've ever had to deal with this. First of all, are you a fan of K? I know you listen to some K-pop, of course, but are you a fan of K-pop in general? Like beyond the scratching the surface ness?
Not recently. I
Yeah.
used to like it back in like SNSD,
Yeah. Same thing.
Kara Wonder
Yeah.
Girls days.
Yeah.
But like since then, I've kind of I haven't gone past the surface. Sometimes I listen to it and I hear it playing all everywhere.
BTS,
Yeah,
your favorite, your new favorite group.
my favorite. I hear Twice everywhere,
Oh my god.
everywhere. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. Japan loves Twice. But yeah, I know. So I know the songs. I just don't. I don't know the members of the groups or anything like that.
But the thing is, like,
I'm interested. But at the same time, it's like,
is the fandom as toxic there as it is like to a degree here?
mm, I'm not super familiar with the fandom here. Like, I don't have a lot of friends that love K-pop. So
I think it's
I
just
don't
like
know.
yeah, I think it's just the me on social media and on Facebook and things like that. There's certain people that shall remain nameless with an A to J. Actually, isn't it's somebody I don't know if oh God, you know who it is, Heidi. It's somebody with an A to J. Like
Yeah, I know
someone-
who it is. Oh,
yeah.
I know who it is.
who's really into K-pop, and it's like it's almost borderlining on that, and it's just like oh my god. And I joked about it with her that she's not gonna that she's gonna get that bad, and she has like obsessing over
Mhm.
like someone's like armpit or whatever. Or,
Oh,
like,
I knew she would. I knew she
yeah, and it's just like oh my
I
like,
wish you
like
would.
all the weird fan things.
Anyone who's like slowly getting into K-pop, like you notice it, and then they say, "Oh, I'm not gonna get as bad as like everyone else." They're gonna get as bad as
They're gonna
everyone
get as bad as everyone else.
Yeah, no,
Probably
they will.
worse. But what's funny is I was telling this on a couple of days ago, and I think I've had this talk with you at some point before, is that for years it would be like, oh, I do ADJ Connections, Japanese pop culture website. Oh, you cover K-pop? Oh, I love K-pop, and it's like, that's great, but no, Japanese J-pop. There's actually a very obvious difference in like national regions or whatnot.
There's a
Have you-
huge difference in the name, at least. Like,
Obviously,
have
you ever had that, Heidi? Like in the past few years, not so much like recently since you've been to Japan. Did you ever deal with that, like at the convention scene or whatever?
Oh yeah,
So-
definitely.
Yeah, and that was big, and I used to complain about that all the time. And
I now have people telling me that I am super biased because I don't allow K-pop in my Japanese Idol festival.
oh my god, no, we didn't touch on this last week. Now
Very biased.
I'll mention her by name because I don't want you to get confused with who I was talking about before. The second one. So Tiffany, everyone knows, performs in idol stuff, and it's actually one of my like minor pet peeves. Not just her for the record, but other people who bring in K-pop songs into their their mostly J-pop set lists. And I forgot what show it was. Well, I was like, hey, I can get you a thing at this spot, at the spot, this like, this idol-y thing, but they want an idol person, like, just don't do any K-pop. And that was my one thing. She's like, no, I want to do a K-pop song. So I just quietly, to the offer was off the table. I probably shouldn't have said that on the podcast. But anyway, But I brought that up just to say that I deal with this internally, and it's actually there. And I love Tiffany. I love seeing her perform. I love seeing her perform with Angie. They're both amazing.
Nice name drop.
Tiffany's amazing solo as well. I just want that out there because I actually have no ill will about the way they perform at all. I just find it so like annoying that they're part of the what I feel is a problem, like mixing it all together, only like getting things more confused.
Yeah, it kind of confuses me with that kind of thing too, since they both work as staff with Fandom, and Fandom has the same rules.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. But yeah.
Yeah, no K-pop.
So
unless it's like a Japanese version of the song.
Oh, okay.
See, that's my exception.
Yeah.
For like my K-pop rule is like if it's Japanese version, cool. I'm down with that. And usually people have been abiding by that so far. So, and then they love it. So, and there's mostly people that like are full dedicated K-pop that are like calling out like, why aren't you letting people into your JPop Idol festival?
Are we losing Konaru or am I losing myself?
Oh, I think you're just losing.
I think
me.
it's everyone.
Okay. I think it's me. I think it's my internet that suddenly like dropped there. But by the way, that joke has been in my head for days. When Sylvia, I called her Sylvia again. When Megan was losing her internet connection, and somebody in the chat was like punched her right in the bandwidth. Like I have been telling everyone that joke, like punched her right in the bandwidth. But no, I think we got to vibe what you were saying about the not including K-pop in your obvious Japanese idol show, but that's big, and I don't understand why. I don't understand why the need is there to want to do it to begin with. It's like, and in Tiffany's case, which is actually why I brought her up specifically, in Tiffany's case, she does a lot of K-pop specific events, which is great, and I would probably go to those to support her and to know that's going to be just K-pop. But then why? And I'm pretty sure, I don't know, I probably should ask her. I'm pretty sure, I see some stuff over here. Yes, Konaru's bandwidth was punched. I'm pretty sure. Really I'm pretty sure if we went to like the K-pop night or Seoul SF or whatever they call those concerts, I'm pretty sure if we went to them, we wouldn't catch an AKB48 song, an Aqua song, an Idolmaster song. You know what I mean? It'll be just K-pop.
If I go to the event, I expect K-pop. And they would get upset if you dare bring a J-pop song into there too.
Yeah.
And then
they would.
Yeah, exactly. And by that same flip of the coin, for some reason, it seems to be okay on the flip side, and it just confuses the hell out of me. And if it was some weird hybrid event, I can kind of see it, but I don't. I just don't. And I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. To me, that really, in my really roundabout way, that I feel is the state of the idol fandom in 2018. If you're not an alt-idol fan, which is a whole different can of worms.
That's a whole different can of worms.
That's a whole different thing. Yeah.
If you're not an alt-idol fan, you're more than likely like one of these fans who's like falling into the K-pop abyss, so to speak.
Or you're like us and just super petty about everything.
Yeah, now just like, and that's the thing. I don't want to be this like this is like so standoffish, but it's like I don't know. I just feel
as people as for as long as we've been in the fandom and everything, it's just like we've seen it go through so many changes, growth, lines, and all that, and then like for that to happen, I don't know. I just feel like a big slap in the face,
Anyway, Heidi, so how do you see the fandom in Japan? By the way, has it changed in any way for you? The idol fandom, I mean to say, like, obviously you've been to concerts and obviously you've had some as well, so.
Right. I feel like the fandom, it's very split up here, like, amongst the, like, I don't know what you would call the level of idol almost. Like, there's the people that like the super cheek idols. There's the people that like the idols that are sort of in the middle, like Manaki Kitchak or, like, maybe not Dempa. Dempa's more, like, the idol fandom, it's like split into tiers.
Oh.
Like the people that like Hello Project and like AKB and like Monger Clover are like one group, right? And they're all like their own thing. And then like in the middle, there's people that like everything that's like higher than Chica, but not like AKB level. And then there's like the people that like really indies, unknown Chica idol. It's kind of split up like that. I feel like that's gotten even stronger in the past year or so.
Yeah, no, I felt that too. And honestly, I think you can add a tier that like the Seiyu idol thing. Like there's like a whole Seiyu idol genre now.
Yeah, and that's its own thing
basically
too.
you have like the AKBs, and I think you have like the Seiyu idols and like everything else in between that, and then like because I've noticed it too when I go to lives and everything. Is sorry, I have to sneeze.
You're not gonna sneeze now. You pointed it out. Yeah, it's one of those things.
Oh my god, that was bad. But yeah, no, I noticed it too, and I go and meet up with friends and everything, and I go to lives, and like you could tell, like the different sort of people that attend those, and like they only go to like that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Ooh, I actually have an interesting question. Do the same people that like the JPop idols are kind of into like K-pop idols, or do you think it's like kind of different?
I feel like it's different.
It's different. I kind of figured.
Yeah.
Well, I'd imagine the K-pop stuff's more mainstream anyway. Like I'm pretty sure the Chica idol fans wouldn't, really be partaking.
The normies.
Yeah, the normies. Yeah, I mean the K-pop would belong to the normies. I mean to say, yeah. Wouldn't be like traversing the other side of it. That said, I don't know.
But now we've got like the K-pop fandom and the AKB fandom mixed to an extent.
That's scary.
Thank you for bringing that up, actually, because that was one of my next points I didn't put in my little notes there, but I kept thinking about it. Because I mentioned this before, and I don't know if we ever mentioned it with you. Over here, I feel that it's very, very strongly that the people, by the way, once again, I know it's pronounced I-zone. Okay, I said it wrong. I know it's pronounced I-1, but I always call them I-zone because I hate the way they spelled it. And I'm always going to call them I-zone until they change the spelling. Anyway, so I-zone, do you think that they're actually, like, okay, do you think, because obviously you would know, is I-zone actually popular there in Japan?
Not, they're popular to an extent.
Because, like, over here, I was talking about this I talked about this more than once, actually. Over here, I feel that, you're only, the only people that are really fans of them are either K-pop fans, and there's a lot of those who just like, oh my god, a new K-pop group. They don't even seem to notice or care or whatever. There's AKB members in there, or 48G members to be more accurate, and or they're the people who already like both. I don't think there's anyone who is a pure J-pop fan or whatever, a pure AKB fan.
The problem about it, TBH, is when those K-pop fans that don't even know who AKB even was before 48, they come in here acting like, oh, I've been a fan of them for like ever, and they like try to like play catch up in a way, and they like try to like make it look like, oh, I've been like a fan of them, but it's really obvious when they, really start when you really start talking to them, like they don't know. Because I actually had that happen a couple of days ago.
No, the worst part of the K-pop fandom, jumping to the AKB48 side, is like everything that AKB48 apparently has ever done is right wing and anti-Korean. Like if you're like every time like there's ever talk about like, remember the Bird incident? Do we need to bring up Bird? When BTS is doing that song Bird, and it's funny because there was somebody with an A to J. I kind of like slowly faced drunk because she wasn't, just for reasons. But there was somebody with an A to J who actually said that non-ironically, because there were fans who were like, "Oh, we don't want them to work with Aki P because of his right-wing views," which nobody had evidence for, by the way, or still does.
The same thing. A lot of their agents, a lot of K-pop agents.
But so
because.
But the funny thing is that when it was all done and they got the single canceled, those same fans were like, "But we still want to hear the song." It's like you don't get both. You don't get it canceled and then still say you want to hear it. And then it's funny because like we had somebody with an A to J who non-ironically said the exact same thing. She's like, "No, I still want to hear it." I'm like, "But you were one of the people who said that they shouldn't be." I'm like, "Oh god, I don't even know. I can't anymore. I can't with this fandom. I just can't. Y'all killing me. Y'all killing me here." I don't know. BTS is a weird one to me because I like them. okay, everyone says this in their life. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if you've ever said this to people or you have this thought about yourself and your music tastes. But I've encountered many people in my life who are like, I love everything except country or whatever. I love everything except this. I can honestly, oh, Heidi's gone. Oh, there she goes. I can honestly say, I can honestly say that I love everything, or not I love everything. I listen to every genre except for rap. Like, literally every genre. And I mean country, I mean bluegrass, I mean jazz, I mean, you know, noise, experimental, industrial, whatever. I listen to everything except for rap. And so that's one of the reasons I don't think I'll ever like BTS. I don't know why I had to say that, but that's also my rant about people who say they like everything, but they really don't. They're like, I listen to everything except for, usually it's everything but country. And I'm like, no, you don't. Like, you just listen to like 4 forms of rock and you think that's everything. But that's neither here nor there. Heidi.
Yeah.
Let's get this back on track. Huh?
Everyone's internet is just like really bad tonight.
No, I was listening to that too. Like,
Yeah.
everyone's internet's just dropping in and out. Heidi with that green screen, which is awesome. I'll just like green screen Heidi over it.
See, I don't know what's going on. Maybe my camera's gonna die. I don't know. I've had this camera for like 5 years.
Really?
So maybe it's time. Maybe it's time it's gonna die.
Why don't you invest it in a new high quality one? With all that A to J money.
He doesn't have to.
Yeah, where is the A to J money?
It's funny because like
he spent the whole earnings to ship presents.
I bought this new mic recently. Oh.
For you.
Yeah. I bought a new mic, you know. Again, I had to buy Max gifts. I mean, come on. I'm a monster. Anyway, so what's next? Let's see. Actually, I think I was gonna ask Heidi and I forgot what it was. So rather than like stall and try to remember what it was, I'm gonna move on. I forgot what it was though. Damn it, what was it?
You'll remember later.
So what are some of your best JPop moments of 2018, Heidi? Besides what was that thing? Yui Fest or whatever you said it was called. I already forgot its name.
Yukari Fest.
Yukari Fest. There you go. What is that?
It's a squishy.
It's a squishy My Melody.
Aww.
Oh, is it that Mochi series?
Yeah!
Soft? Yeah. I was playing with
Yes.
it when I was over there.
Yeah.
What are your best J-pop moments, Heidi?
My best J-pop moments. Best J-pop moments.
It can either be something you experience or it could be like a new thing, like, oh, so-and-so rejoined the group or like left and had a good solo career or things like that. And I actually have a couple new ones, which is why I was going to go back to it, which doesn't go back in the circle if you think of some Konaru before it gets to you.
Oh, I have one.
Oh, you already have one. So I guess you go first since you already have yours.
Okay, yeah, you go first. I'm thinking.
Suzuki ID.
Oh my god, I hate you so much! That was mine that I was going to say! Oh my god. No, really?
You know why? You know why I thought that? Because you're so-and-so left the group and had an amazing solo career.
Exactly! I shouldn't have said anything, because I use it as my example because that was what I was going to say. When I was looking back on, I edited the last podcast into segments, and I'll do that with this one as well. But I was editing it into smaller segments. And once again, if anyone was looking forward to the audio-only versions, I'm sorry I didn't get them out. In case you didn't notice, the last one was only 2 days ago. It was only 2 days ago, and Huh?
Oh?
Oh, Heidi's back. What'd you say?
Huh?
Your audio was totally messed up for like a whole
I
minute or
thought
so
it was
there.
just me. I was like,
No, it's
That's why
funny.
I said same. I can totally hear what you're saying.
Oh, it's funny because then Heidi's was messed up too. I think it's my internet that's really messed up, and everyone's just. I think
Well,
I'm the one
anyway,
getting punched in the
I'm
bandwidth.
gonna take that one back then. Give it to Manuel, and I'll say going to see Aqua at Tokyo Dome.
I wanted to go!
You should have
It was fun, Heidi. Oh my god, it was so good. Why didn't you? We could have like went together and everything.
Why didn't you go, Heidi?
Dang.
I don't know why I didn't go, to be honest.
You're a monster.
I got confused about the when the ticket dates for applying for Japan, and I can't apply for the overseas tickets because I have a visa.
Oh.
Hey, I know some people who actually do
Really?
that.
Really? See, I felt bad about doing that, so I didn't want to do
You should've
that.
just did it.
I know a couple of people. You have like this Love Live Reddit Discord that I'm in. I'm in it, so that's why I can like keep up with like live stuff.
Mhm.
But no, I know some people like I guess live there,
Mhm.
and they were able to apply and everything. And they got it.
God, I should have just done that then.
Rip.
It's okay.
Rip.
If they do it for a fifth live or for a final live, like let's do it, Heidi.
Yeah, I'm on this.
just
60,
double dip.
60% win rate. Do it.
Like
I'm on this.
like I mentioned, mine was obviously Suzuki Irie again. You know, going to like actually the solo career really taken off. I mentioned this many times that like, especially in Hello Project, I think it's very common in Hello Project when an older member leaves. This is idols in general. Hello Project has done this like time and time again. They go into like what I call like the ballad hell, where they just do ballads or like mid-tempo like contemporary pop, and it's you know what I mean. It's like it's always like it's like they no long. I was afraid that's what happened to her, and it didn't, and I was like very very pleasantly surprised. And
Oh, I have another good like comeback one that's just like Heidi. Miyuki Watanabe. Yes.
Oh yeah.
oh yes,
Oh my god.
And
Yes.
Amy.
She could step on me.
Coming on Amy also.
oh
yeah.
and she at the start of the year she played she did that Minako Honda musical thing that I wanted to go for, and I was like, it just didn't happen. But I wanted to. She played Minako Honda in a musical, and I was like, God damn it, I hate my life. Was that this year? That was this year, I think. It was it was way early this year though, but yeah. So yeah, there was been a lot of good comebacks. Is Irie still in Hello? Not Hello Project. Well, I guess is Irie still in Upfront? That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
I just huh. Also, it's funny because Sayumi's had a lot of like interesting. She's actually been active for a while, but
Mhm.
that MV she dropped a few months ago was really good for that. I forgot what song that
Yeah.
was, but she's actually been doing music. It's funny because like people were sharing that like, oh my god, she's back, and I'm like, wait, this is like her third or fourth album since she's been like solo, and I was really like third,
Yeah.
like so I was really confused that I'm like, did nobody know that she's been back for about 2 years now, or like about 2 years? It's at least 1 full year.
It's been 2 years.
Yeah, I'm like I know for a fact it's like sometime early 2017 she released that first album, or I think the first Sayumi Land Doll, what the fuck it's called, or for that show she does or whatever. But
Mhm.
anyway, Heido, your time has come.
Okay, I thought of one. So this year, maybe because I've been going to like a voice acting school, I've been listening to a lot more anime, seiyuu related music. But this year, Bushido started a new project called Starlight Girls Review, and their music has been very top notch.
Yes.
Yes. So then that, and also all of the Bang Dream music has also been very good this year. So I want to shout out to those two.
Yes, Heidi.
Yeah.
No, it's funny because like they had the event in Anaheim a few months ago or last month, whenever it was.
I know.
And like every
So upset, I wanted to go.
like
They got Red Starlight,
I know. Rosalia was there.
Celia and Poppin' Party,
Uh-huh.
and then what else did we get? Yeah, that's it. That's all
it's funny because like I don't want to see, and this kind of ties into what I was saying, what I was gonna say, and what I kind of said on Tuesday, is that it was. I think that the people who put on the event, they probably were happy with it, but it's the epitome of those kind of events that I've talked about before. Like, you guys don't remember, you guys weren't there obviously, but there was God, what was it called? Japan Expo LA. I think Japan Expo Normal was like this too. Japan Expo.
I wanted to go.
But Japan Expo LA was the one that had Chiki Parade, Solidemo, I'm trying to remember who was like headlining. There was a bunch of people, a ton of people. There was like, and we interviewed like all of them. Hiragi Ryo was there, the one who like became like the main topic of that one documentary. Like what was it called? Japanese Idol or something like that. The one that was also very negative on the fandom. So anyway, it's like the epitome of that kind of event. I feel where like, I feel that they just wanted to put on an event to say that they did, as opposed to like it actually being a successful financial venture, so to speak.
Yeah.
Cause like,
especially considering there are things that sell out like that
No,
over here.
and like,
it didn't seem like that big of an event
no, it
in
was
America.
First of all, like it only occupied a small part of the convention center. Like, well, to be totally fair, the Anaheim Convention Center is way bigger than, not way bigger, but it's like has more footage than the LA Convention Center, so it's pretty big. But it only occupied a small part of it. There was a ton of other conventions going on that weekend, and I know for a fact, I think I was in a bad mood, or this sounds like super reason not to go. I was in a mood, and I just didn't want to go, and nobody wanted to go for me, so they kept like pressuring us to go, like as press, and I'm like, I don't want to go. It's like I don't want to go, and people, of course, there's people like, I'd go, and I'm like, will you do press? Like, not really. I want to go to the con. I'm like, then you can't go. But
I would have gone to Dumb Press.
I would have gone.
You're in Japan, but like it was funny because like nobody was really able to go, wanted to go, whatever. But also on the other side, I just didn't have the time to do it. They were giving away tons of tickets. Like it was one of those events where like they were reaching out to other outlets again. They're like, hey, you want to do a concert? I mean, a contest. Here's 5 tickets. Here's 10 tickets. Whatever. Like, give them to your readers or whatever. And I just was too lazy to do that either. But they went as far, and I know this because one of my friends is one of them. They went as far as to go to like Instagram and like Instagram influencers, And I'm like, that's just a weird route to go. It's like you're really reaching at that point. Like you're just like, I mean, as in to give away tickets or whatever. And I just felt bad for that event. It was trying really hard. And in anywhere else in like Asia, that event would have like sold out and been a huge thing. But here, they probably had like about 100, maybe 2, actually 200. I mean to say, like people who paid a ton of money and like were really dedicated to be there, and then probably like another couple hundred casuals, and that was probably the entire event right there. And you can kind of see that too if you look at videos and pictures of it as well. Like everyone I know who went to it got what they wanted. If they went to everything, like they got all their autographs, they got all their pictures, they got all their concerts, and so on. And it's sad. And I almost felt like those events weren't really like weren't a thing anymore. But there was another one, and I don't know. I feel bad for that event, and I kind of wish I'd gone now, because I was just in a I don't want to do any Japanese events like that month mood when that happened.
I would.
Oh, your bandwidth. Or is it my bandwidth? Heidi? Oh God, it's happening. Oh, Heidi looks... There it goes.
You guys kind of died for a second there.
I kind of figured.
No, it's funny because I mean, to each of us, we're not the ones dying, but to me, because I'm recording it, I still see, like, I'm fine. It just looks like you guys are dying whenever, everyone on YouTube is like,
it looks like just me is dying, or
just you is
fine. It looks
fine.
like just you guys are dying to me. Yeah.
But anyway,
I think it's everyone's internet.
Yeah, I think it's my internet, to be totally honest. I think somebody in the other room is like watching like a 4K movie on like Netflix or something like that, like really screwing up our bandwidth. Like, I want to watch this in 4K.
Like I was saying, I would have totes gone if I found like a cheap Frontier ticket, but no, I would have done press things too, because like low key, Rise of Starlight and Dietary, they're great, but they're not like on my priority list. Like, oh my God, I gotta go see thing. I would totes like just gone and sat and press, did pictures.
I also don't think that many people went as press. Like, only one outlet that I know of went and did like a couple interviews, I think, that aren't even up. I don't know if they ever will be. Like, It's funny because I used to always get on my own case. And for those who don't know, I mentioned this on the podcast I guested on last week. Last week I was on Anime Weekly, and I mentioned this on that podcast that like we do interviews sometimes that never get published, and like I didn't say the percentage on air, but we talked about it afterwards. Our percentage at A to J is probably about like a fourth or so. and it's gone down a lot recently, but it's still there. About 1 out of every 4, maybe 5 interviews we've ever done never get published. Apparently, with this other outlet, and I kind of gave it away what outlet it was because I just said what podcast I was on. But the podcast I was on, their outlet, apparently their rate is more like half of their interviews never get published. And out of the ones that do, it'll probably be within 6 months, as opposed to like mine, like get it out within 3 weeks or get it out within 2 or a month. So I guess we're on top of things and no one else is. So anyways, so what was your worst J-pop moment, Heidi, of 2018?
Worst J-pop.
Because that was kind of my roundabout. I'll like add a bit more to give you some time. That was kind of my roundabout way, which by the way I kind of just like I segued into it without saying that. It's basically a repeat of what I said on Tuesday, but mine is kind of like the weird state of concerts. Go ahead.
Produce 48 happening.
Oh, Produce 48 happening. It's funny you say that because I kind of wish I had.
And that they took Nako and Sakura away from me, like especially Nako. Like how dare?
Like I don't even know. It's like I wish I thought of that too, but like I kind of just forgot about them too. It's like, oh, they're gone. They've gone to the ether. It's like never to be seen again for 2 years, except for like
Give me back my Nako 2K19.
I don't know. And
I'm behind this.
I listened to La Vie en Rose, or whatever that song's called. I do not like that song. I don't know why I was going crazy about it. And like I don't want to name them by name because they're actually pretty good friends of ours outlet wise, but there's an outlet friend of mine that I'm not even exaggerating, I'm being straight up with you, and they cover everything but they only have one single blog, so they cover everything, and at least I'm being generous by saying at this minimum at least 1/3 of their content is on iZone, probably half, but at least 1/3 of it is. And you might be like, how do they get that much news? Because they're fucking like reporting on everything. Like, oh, so-and-so of iZone posted a picture of a new dog on Twitter or whatever, or on Instagram. I think that was actually a story. And there's like all these things like that. And I'm like, who cares? Like stop writing about this. Like, apparently they have this crazy iZone fanboy, in their writing staff who just like writes about everything.
Breaking news: Sakura breeze.
No, there was one where it was all like Sakura talks about her love of pop music, something like that. I'm like, is that even news? Like that, like it was literally something that simple. And I'm like, I'd assume they all like pop music or whatever it was. Oh god, that's a good one. Worst for 2018. No J-pop summit.
That is a worst one. Like I don't even go to like J-pop summit. Like I was really disappointed that it wasn't happening.
J-pop summit is another one of those kind of events, but for what it is, it's successful. It's another one of those events that it's done, that I don't think anyone's thinking they're going to make their money back, especially when you consider that it used to be a free event. That nobody thinks
they had a lot of sponsorship deals.
But it's huge. It's huge. When it was free, it was gigantic. It would spill out all over San Francisco. And even when it's not free now, it still fills up the event space it's in. So I don't think that one's It both falls into what I said and it doesn't, because they get like top tier type guests, but they're not necessarily any losses they might potentially make. Because I have heard from like the people who runs their PR that like their goal is not really to like obviously make a buck. It's just to promotion, to get themselves out there, and to like, I hate to say it, but this is why a lot of artists come to the US, is to put that notch in their belt that like, oh, I went to the US.
I've been to the US.
Yeah.
I did a live in the US.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, I'm so successful.
Because that's what it is. It doesn't matter. I mean, J-pop summit, don't get me wrong, they're filling it up. But for some of these other people, it's like, doesn't matter that like when Ed was there, I believe, when we went to the Lantis Festival, the anime Anasong World Matsuri in Las Vegas. Now, if you want to go to an Anasong World Matsuri that was like empty, that one probably had like 200 people, and I'm being generous. And this was like Jam Project, Yesei Teikoku. It had Hatsune Miku, like an actual like with the band and with the 3D thing, and people whose names I'm forgetting. Yeah, and nobody went to that one, like nobody. And that was the one that I very famously had I had a stack of tickets that I posted a picture of. It's like because they gave them to me to give away, but there was no one to give them away to. It's like everyone who was gonna go already had a ticket. And I took one because I only bought for one day because there was 2 days of it then too. But I forgot who else was there. There was a lot of artists whose names I'm clearly forgetting. Yeah, that one, because Ed mentioned that too. Like I said, that turnout couldn't have been. Like, I'm being kind of generous by saying 200, and it was awkward because they had this area where they kind of like this area in front of the stage that they had no standing room basically. So like in front of the stage was this huge empty area. So if they were filming it like a normal concert would be, it looked like nobody was there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sad.
Is Ada J going to get a columnist for Bunny News? Heidi should like, you know what you should really do? No joke. You should start an Instagram or a Twitter for your bunny, and just do your like, your Anko adventures.
Today's funny. Yeah, Anko's Adventures.
There you go.
I like that name.
See, there you go. I'm not going to charge you for using that. There you go. Anko's Adventures. There you go. Go do it. Go make this happen. Go get this Twitter, Instagram, whatever started.
Go on it right now. Right now.
Oh my god. So anyway, worst J-pop moment, Heidi? I still have long enough.
My worst J-pop moment. I still don't know because I didn't really have anything that I was like, oh, this sucks.
Were
hard.
you a fan of Produce 48 when it happened?
I never cared. I never watched it.
Yeah, like I watched the first like 3 episodes, and I was really forcing myself because I don't know if you were ever on one of those podcasts. But back then, we actually would cover it like on the weekly. Like we'd have a like I don't know if we had a what the fuck, but you remember Konaru? We actually covered it. But it was just like a thing where we talk about like, oh, update. But after a while, it's like I'm so like I don't care about this. And it was funny because Lee Hong Ki was one of the music people who was like the host, or I don't know what you call them, the coaches. That's the word. One of the coaches. And
that's a weird choice.
Yeah, and I only know of him because he was in that drama like the You're Beautiful, and he's from FT Island, and I've seen FT Island live in the U.S. But so I was like, oh, it's Lee Hong Ki, and I kind of watched for him. But I was like, I don't really care, and then I didn't really watch past the 3rd episode, and I kind of just, funny enough, that same website that I kind of like was ragging on earlier about publishing all the iZone stuff, I would read their synopsises for the episodes. And I'm like, I'm just gonna go to there now because they were pretty detailed. Because obviously somebody was like in love with this group, and they were really detailed. And I'm like, I just read this for like 5 minutes, skim over it, and I got the gist. I don't know. Any other negatives you could think of, Heidi, before we move on? I guess.
I guess the one sort of biggest negative thing that happened for me is with doing my own idol stuff this year. I had a lot of times when I would do lives, I would wind up having no people come for
really?
Me specifically. That was kind of sad. Yeah, no, I would have people be like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna come," and then they wouldn't show up, and I'd be like,
"Oh my god,
thanks."
I'll never.
No thanks.
It's funny because like
that was a sad thing.
I used to do band stuff, and like I've never had no one show up. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying I never had no one show up.
Yeah.
And like people all.
I mean, at least with America, like I'll always have like a friend or a family member be willing to show up. But here, don't really have that, I guess.
But I'm gonna tell
especially considering most of the events are like, they actually cost money to go to. It's not like an event in an event or anything like that.
I mean, just. I don't know. People are cheap. If I were there and it worked out,
it sucks.
I would have gone.
Yeah, if I were there, I would have gone to see you, Heidi. I don't know if you had an event in the weekend I went, but if you did, I'm sorry. I'm an asshole.
No, it's
You're
okay.
a monster.
Thank
You're
you.
a horrible person. But no, I'm just kidding. But what's it saying? Oh, but even though I said like that never happened to me, I'll never forget. I went to this one show for this one girl called. It doesn't matter who she is, but I went to this show and she was really like it was literally this very brief period I used to write for this magazine called California Rocker, And I talk about this period all the time, but it was a very brief one. And but I went to see this girl because it was like this big deal. Like she's like this new it thing in Hollywood. Like I think she actually went major after that. And it was like everyone go see her. There's all these label people to go see her. And it was a free show. So I went there. It was at the Whiskey A Go Go. So I go there, and it's pretty packed. See her live. It's amazing. I think if you go to my photo page, I have photos of that concert. It was amazing. And I talked to her afterwards, did a little brief mini interview, and then I stuck around because I'm like, I'm here, I'm gonna chill. I was done for the day. I was getting paid for this too, so I'm like, I was gonna write off a couple beers on the expenses. So I'm there drinking a little, and like I think there was a band after hers that was already gone. Then the third band was on, and I'll never forget this. Nobody was there. There was a few people who were still talking to the old artist girl, like not the she's not old, but talking to the artist girl who's upstairs, like the rocker girl. There's people talking to her still, but the bottom floor where people performed was empty. It was just me and the bartender and them, and they were playing their hearts out, and it was like it wasn't really my genre. Like I listened to it, but it was like kind of like this weird like southern kind of like grungy rock and roll. I don't know how to put it. Like if you heard it, you might know what I'm talking about. And they were playing, and they're all like, oh, sometimes you have a hard night, but we're still gonna have a good time. And it's sad because I'm like, who are you talking to? Me? Like I'm the only one here. It's just me and the sound person and the bartender who could possibly be hearing you. And I felt so sorry for them. And I'm like, nobody's here for them. And I'm sorry. Is that what happened to you? I imagine that too. Bless you.
Yeah, that's me.
I'm sorry. Like that's so sad. And it was really. I like to think you did this too. What made it? I guess it's not sad. It's kind of cool. What made it sad though is like they were really, really trying. I mean, there was to be fair. Like, what were they gonna do? People off the street? Because like it was free, I guess. If they would have known, the people on the street would have known. But there was maybe 10 people upstairs who might have come down to go listen to them, but there was no one there. It's like they could have just, it's like, what are you guys playing for at this point? You're just practicing in this nice historic venue at this point. But they kept trying, and I'm like, I had long since forgot their name. I think I took a picture of them.
I mean, at least here, like the people that are there for other idols, they'll like,
exactly.
watch and
I was about to say,
cheer,
like,
even if.
But I imagine something similar. Like, imagine, like, would it ever happen where, like, the only people who were there were for another idol, and it was her, like, what do you call that time? It was her time for, like, the goods or whatever. And and everyone left for that, and then
no, I've had that happen before, and I'm just like, wow,
cause that's
hello, two people in the town staff.
Yeah, because that's basically what happened to this poor band. I was like, oh my god, this poor band. And I'm sitting there getting more and more drunk, and I kind of wanted to go out there, like, yeah, you guys are awesome. But I was like, I'm too tired, and I was like, yeah, I felt bad for them. Anyway, that's my aside for nobody was going. That sucks. Has that happened anytime recently though? It seems like you've been like, I don't know how well I could tell from the outside, but it seems like you've been like getting a lot of popularity. Is that the right way I want to phrase that? You becoming popular.
I wouldn't say that.
Oh my god!
I wouldn't say that. People like me on the internet, but people don't want to go from the internet to actual venues.
Oh my god. That's To be fair, there are memes for this. Like in the band circle, that happens all the time, where it's all like, it's like no.
But see, when I do perform at places, like even if there's no one that came for me that day, I'll still get at least 5 people that come and take a checky with me afterwards.
Oh, see, that's great.
And then they won't come to my next live afterwards. They'll like follow me and be like, "Yeah, we took a checky together. Wow, you're cute," and like my pictures, and they won't actually come to my lives.
Aww. Need to get checky with Heidi again. I have is it? Yeah, this is it. This is the checky I bring everywhere.
Oh yeah.
It's the Heidi traveling around checky. It's kind of. I think I need a new frame for it. You probably can't tell, but it's all scratched up and dirty now, because like things have been spilled on it. Like it's been just thrown in my bag many a time. It's been thrown in the suitcase the last minute when we have to check out real fast. I'm surprised the picture's not like ruined. It's a little stained at the bottom, but it's not like ruined like the way I thought it would be. So Heidi's resilient, even in checky form.
Yay.
Like one time we spilled a ton of alcohol on the table and it was on there, and like it survived. I thought I was gonna wipe off the marker on the top, but it didn't. Because when you use rubbing alcohol, you could take off like a permanent marker. I thought the same thing would happen, but it didn't. Maybe because we let it dry, and it just like it's just a new layer of adhesive. But anyway, so what is Heidi's favorite song, MV, or artist of 2018?
What is it? That's a good question.
Yeah, it's funny because like I was thinking about this earlier.
I picked Wasuda I picked Tapioca Milk Tea by Wasuda.
And I picked Amina's Caravan, which I don't know if you actually heard it. That's a song with they're called the Cherry Cokes, by the way. That like bluegrass band that was in that one. But it's like very bluegrassy idol song. But I was thinking about this the other day, and like if I had to pick another one, it would be Bis Second's version of that first single, which is called, what the fuck is it called? I forgot what it's called. I forgot its name. Doesn't matter. That song was amazing. I'll put a link to that one below. And also talking about Bis Second, I should have put that as my worst moment of JPop in 2018. Was what happened to Bis. Pului leaving and just split up, which is still happening, and like I don't know if the voting already happened, but they've done 2 singles like this, and I stopped caring after the first because they changed the lineup depending on voting, and apparently the one who won the most recent voting, the one who gets the least, is going to be kicked out of like whack period. So
oh gee,
yeah, and also another like low point as far as I'm concerned for whack was that song called, the one where they're eating shit. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. That was the video where they're eting shit, and there were like flies everywhere.
Hoshi ga mabataku. I don't know.
But that song, that video they did this year was But anyways, Heidi, your best and worst. I mean, we didn't even do worst. Your favorite J-pop song.
So hard. I'm so indecisive that like trying to decide these things last minute. I'm like.
It's funny because like surely you have several. Oh my god! Speaking of CDs, I wish I could show you. I kind of don't want to. It's a little embarrassing, but like I've been like doing a lot of spring cleaning, getting rid of a lot of stuff because I'm trying to downsize, and I have like hundreds and hundreds of idol CDs that I don't know what to do with, and I'm like, and I mean like,
give them to me.
Me too.
Let me just see what's down here. This is a sorting pile, but like, this is, I don't know if anyone even knows who this group is. That's like Gotomaki's brother, who was in an idol group at some point. And this is a CD that like Mini Moni and who's the other one? Mini Moni and Petite Moni did together. And here's like the first Vyuden album.
Oh my god.
Here's Gam's album, brand new. I have a couple of these, I think. Here's,
where did you even get all these? Oh my gosh, it's Konaru.
Yeah.
That's mine.
There's a Koharu. Oh, there's more Koharu. This is like Koharu stuff.
Oh my god.
Believe it or not, some of these, like, I know for a fact I got this one, the happy one. I got this one at Amoeba. Like, like there's the one in San Francisco, but I think I just got this one in San Francisco. A lot of times I hit the J-pop section there, and there'll always be idol. They used to be, not so much anymore, and they would have them really cheap because like nobody's buying this stuff there. Some I ordered online a long time ago, but then others I just would get at Book Off, like the Book Offs here, or like
There's Book Off in America?
Yeah, like I don't even. It's funny because I was telling someone else about that, and I think they're only in SoCal, or they might be spreading out now.
Yeah, it's gotta.
But yeah, I think they're only in SoCal. Main. There's a bunch though. There's like, but up until a few years ago, it was only a couple. But now there's a bunch local to me. There was a Book Off for years here. Like now they're kind of spreading out into several stores. But there used to be just one Book Off that sold just Japanese stuff, and it still does sell just Japanese stuff. But there was a Book Off that was there for like since I was like in middle school, and like I actually was surprised when I went to Japan the first time, like a long time ago when I went to Japan for the first time, and I was like, Book Offs are actually a thing in Japan. Like I didn't know that. Like to me, it was that one random store that was called Book Off that had a bad name, but yeah. So as you can see, like that's a tiny little pile I pulled out from my hand. Over in the corner, there's like stacks of CDs. I don't know what to do with. Like,
Give them to
I know. Here, you get the
me.
Kusumi Kahara. This is their first CD, I think.
Actually, can I? Seriously?
What CD is
Bring
this?
them the ALA.
I thought of something.
What? Okay.
Ooh.
So the At Home Cafe Idol group, they released a couple of singles this year, but their single called Natsu no Kanaria.
Yeah.
It's like bomb. It's good. It's a very good song.
Oh,
I
really?
totally recommend. 10 out
I'll
of
check
10.
that one up.
There's even a music video for it.
Huh. I wonder if we could watch it here. I mean, I don't want to watch it right now. I
think
wonder if
we
we could watch it in the US, I meant to say. But that's cool. Whatever. I think it's actually her second CD because it starts with Balalaika. But,
That's probably like her second, like, I guess, like, best of.
oh, wait. And then
One.
there's like Koi Hanabi. I can read that. There's Koi Hanabi. I don't know why I'm reading this. Something melody. But, it's the Gao flavors on there. But, anyway.
I sent you the link to the video.
Oh, let me see. So you can watch it. So there's I clicked it on accident. Oh my god. Not so much it's gonna play, but the music's gonna like mix into my audio. But I stopped it. But what was I saying? So yeah, non JPop. It's funny because like we do an end of year thing, and I think I did that again. Sorry. If you guys noticed that everyone's cameras disappeared for a second, that was me. We do an end of year thing every year at A to J where we talk about our favorite songs, and I it's funny because similar to Heidi, I'm like I can't really think of one. I guess it'll be Caravan again, and it's funny because like I've listened to a lot of things. I kind of dropped out of like Japanese music for the past 2 months or so, but I was very like kept up until then. I don't know. Why aren't you in At Home's idol group, Heidi?
I mean, I could be if I wanted to be.
Why don't you be? That's good
I
English.
auditioned for their first round, and then I didn't get in at that point because I was still like a training maid. I probably could have gotten in if I had auditioned this year, but timing didn't work out. Like the cutoff for sending in your form was like right around the same time that I had my 1-year anniversary event, and like I was just so busy that I missed it.
Oh, okay.
And then if I was to audition this year, I mean, I could join, but I don't know what's going to be happening this year because I graduate school next year, so I don't really know what I'm going to do. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes, Heidi, get that paper.
Get that paper.
Yeah, the paper that says you can now do voice act. Good job.
You can do, good job. Have fun. Did you have any other songs you wanted to add to the best Konaru of 2018? We didn't say last time. I was gonna add that Yoru no Honky Dance did a song earlier in the year. I forgot what it was called, but it was a song I really liked. But it was so short. It was like 2 minutes that I just didn't want to pick that. Oral Cigarettes had a new song this year, and I didn't really care too much for it. Jay from Lunacy had a new song this year. I liked it, but I don't think it was my best of the year. Lunacy had a new song this year. I didn't like that really at all. And so on. I don't know. This was a year for letdowns for me.
I guess a really good one that came out this year, do it at like the any party, what a gay party thingies, is Shiny Days by, I forgot the girl's name, but it's the anime opening to Laid Back Camping, and it's a really good song to like.
Oh, I like that song too.
Yeah, and but we do it like at the any parties. We like track like as much glow sticks as we can, and we just throw it in a pile and make like a campfire. We all sing along to it, and we're just like, yeah, campfire song.
Oh my god!
With you as our fire.
That's great.
Heidi, sing the song right now.
I'll send you a video of that because like every time we do that, it's glorious. It's amazing.
Heidi has to sing it right now.
I'm singing right now.
Yeah.
Probably could.
There you go. Just jump into it. Do we have any predictions for 2019 for things that might happen? Heidi's gonna become a
scandal.
Huh?
iZone Scandal.
Oh yeah.
iZone Scandal.
Yes.
iZone Scandal, and Heidi's gonna become like the best voice actress ever.
Jurina graduates.
Jurina?
Yeah, she graduates.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
I actually I don't know if we talked about this already. It's my thought she just did it because of all the iZone stuff. That she couldn't really leave at the same time that like Sakura leaves, and it would have just been too and also what's her name? Who's leaving? Sashi. So
Sashi.
it's like everybody can't leave at once. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so that's the vibe. Is she even back? Because she came back and then she kind of like disappeared again for a bit. I
Who?
love Drina. I love that she.
Oh,
I
I
love.
don't even know what the heck
No,
is
I
going on
love
with
that she
her on.
came. We talked about. I know we talked about this when it happened. My favorite part when she came back is that she stole the thunder from someone's birthday event. That she shows up at someone's birthday event,
I know, right?
Oh yeah.
and she's all like, "I'm back, guys," and nobody cares about that girl's event. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, Zarina showed up at it," and I'm like, "Oh, that's it."
She actually got a lot of backlash for that.
Yeah.
Honestly, like he's on 2 channel. I go
Yeah.
on 2 channel, guys.
I'm like, you couldn't have waited.
No.
You could either have done it the day before, or the day after, whatever. Another event, anything. Tweeted it. I don't know. And then she disappeared. She did like 2 more things after that. Then she disappeared. And I don't know if that was why, but Sentimental Train, is that even come out with the full version?
Yeah, I saw. There's actually a comparison, like on YouTube. I saw the comparison, like with Jurina and without Jurina, and
It's it's funny because not just that, but like I thought it was just me, but I looked into it. That single was only out for like a month, and then they like shoved out the no, what was it called, no way man, or whatever it was called.
no, no way, man.
So it was. I thought when that song came out, I thought it was another like B-side from Sentimental Train, and that was a new single. I'm like, wait, Sentimental Train just came out. It's like at the time I think Jurina was barely back, did that birthday event thing, and I was like, what's happening? It's like you didn't even give that single any time, and it was the Senbatsu single.
It's because Jurina wasn't there. That's why they just decided to move on.
But they moved on
ASAP.
fast. It was crazy, and I was like, I actually like that song. Also, I wanted to point this out because we reported on it earlier, and mainly because we repeated it. I remember everyone was saying the Sentimental Train sold 3 million. Not Sentimental Train, no, Sentimental Train. That it sold 3 million copies, and I'm not sure where people get some of these big numbers from, but apparently according to Oricon, it only sold about like 1.8. So I thought that was interesting to note, and I think that and Teacher Teacher were the biggest selling songs of 2018, by the way, and I'm sure they will be because nothing else is going to beat it. And I think people were noting that this was the first year that the top 5 weren't all AKB48 because Nogizaka 46 like nudged this way in there to like the top 4 and 5.
No, not just Nogizaka. Kayaki.
Kayaki.
Was it Kiyaki?
Hey.
No, I mean top 10. I think Kiyakizaka is all over the place in there too. I think top 5 is only Nogizaka, right? But anyway, I thought that was interesting to note.
Oh, one thing I discovered this year, I didn't know like Kayaki and like Hiragana Kayaki were like, groups. I thought, does anyone keep up with those kind of things?
No,
besides me.
No,
I didn't know there were 2 different groups.
No, same.
I thought they were the same group. I thought like the Hiragana Kayaki was like Kayaki's Undergirls kind of thing.
No,
but no,
same
they're 2
exactly.
different groups. I'm like, when did that happen? When did they make a new group?
The main girls, the Kayakizaka, like 46, those are like katakana, and then they have hiragana.
No, I was really confused by that too. Like I remember I talked to Konaru about this. Like I was gonna show off one of their MVs, but I just never liked showing 48G like in the MV segment we used to do. And
46.
yeah, I just never. Well, the whole family. I never liked showing any mainstream type videos. So mainly because of flagging, not so much I didn't want to show them. But I remember I was like, "Who is this group?" I thought they were not so much a training thing. I thought they were a subunit or something. I'm like, "Oh, this is just like I don't even know if AKB48 really even does like other little units anymore." But I thought it was a unit like that, and I'm like,
I miss the concept of subunits. Like that.
Me too. I miss Watariro.
yeah, I will say like that's the only one that I can remember. I can't remember how to say the name off the top of my head, but I remember that one specifically. And mentioned
What subgroup just had a 10-year anniversary from AKB?
No sleeves.
no, yeah.
Mostly, so yeah, there you go.
Ants in the chat mentions his favorite J-pop song is Mori Musume 1/8's Furari Ginza? I haven't heard that one. I haven't kept
But
up
I
with.
mean, yeah, that one's pretty good too. I agree there.
I heard good things about them. I never really moved on like Agona and what was the other one from that single? Are You Happy? I kind of was like so.
I like Are You Happy?
You like that one?
Because it's so weird.
It's the
I like
thing.
how they're just like, are you happy?
They're both weird. And Are You Happy doesn't really have like neither of those songs really have like a quote unquote like normal song structure. I mean, to be fair, a lot of Hello Project songs don't. Uh, but those songs, especially Are You Happy, it's just like I'm like, what is the structure? Where's the chorus? Where's like where's the actual verse? It was a very confusing song. I don't know. I didn't hate them by the way, but I was very. I think Ferrari Ginza. No, that's the recent one. Yeah, that came out recently. Never mind. That was after that one. But anyway, um, prediction for eight. Let's see. We didn't do this on Tuesday because I thought it was weird bringing it up with Megan, but I never. Because we didn't really talk about what outlet she worked for, so I didn't want to bring it up. But so predictions for Ada J in 2017. God damn, that's really hot. Missing the boat. That's not even 2018. Predictions for Ada J in 2019. Fun fact: I wasn't gonna wear the clown thingy like this time. Like I've been wearing this for the podcast for the past like year. Um, but I wore it today not only because I'm sick and I didn't want to cough on my new microphone.
I have a prediction for the podcast.
What?
Oh.
You'll stop using that black background.
Oh, that is a thing. I was gonna say that next. I put it on today because I didn't shave, and I didn't want to like no like in person it doesn't look that bad because of the lighting. You can see it just looks really bad.
I want to see.
Ed,
Manuel face reveal.
Like
Ed said
she's just like
Manuel
I haven't shaved.
Oh my god.
See, in the lighting it looks really bad. And if you saw the whole thing, it's like that. It's pretty full. Got like a mustache and everything. So I didn't shave, and I actually just forgot. And it's funny because we had all this lead time. I could have done it in between, but anyway. But yeah, I'm not gonna wear this, and I'm not gonna have the black background. The black background was just me being lazy. I mentioned this before, but I used to have like checkies on there. And I only did that for like 2 weeks, and I got lazy. So I'm gonna do a different green screen thing where I'm gonna put like an idol collage or something. Heidi, of course, will be the world's top, seiyuu and everything like that. And her idol career will like take off, and she'll be performing in the U.S. She'll be at JPop Summit 2019.
Yes. Yeah, that's my goal for the year.
And all the other events. So there you go. So that's any other predictions? Like in Konaru, I will have replace Konaru as a co-host with someone else.
Good. Finally, I'll graduate this as well.
It's funny because we talk about this every so often. That I don't know if Konaru remembers how it happened, but out of nowhere she became the de facto podcast host, and I don't know when that exactly started. I thought it was always like that. Yeah, I thought it was always like that. But when I started doing that list, the first like 15 episodes, it wasn't like that. And somewhere along the line, it was just always Konaru.
I think it's because like I was the most available out of everyone.
Yeah, and then we're gonna eventually we're gonna become a Peachy Parade podcast, which is like all the Peachy Parade members just cycle in and out. Like Ren, I called her Ren, Sylvia, and Megan, and so on. Heidi, anyways, besides my half joke predictions, what are some predictions for Heidi? 2019.
Predictions for.
I mean, both with you and like your predictions of the J-pop world, I guess. It doesn't have to be just. It could be the same thing as one or the other, or both. Manuel Preggers! Oh my god!
Yes!
Earlier.
I didn't see that. What the hell? Why did we say that?
I didn't see that either.
Manuel Preggers.
I said it earlier.
Hashtag Manuel Preggers. Oh my god. Did you guys? Oh my god. I don't know if I want to bring up this.
Ada J prediction. Manuel will get pregnant.
When I was
the child will be Kipu's.
Oh my god.
That's the karma for always telling Yui that she's pregnant.
She is. But to be fair, that was Max who started that. But what's funny?
To be fair, you're the one that decided to keep it going.
I don't know if you guys ever like delved into the world of like fan fiction like 10 years ago, but I remember like I had a friend of mine who was really into like fanfic stuff, and I remember she was writing a fan fiction. I don't know if you know these characters. It was Rufus and Vincent from Final Fantasy VII. And Vincent, you might know, he's the kind of vampire-looking guy, the gothy one. And Rufus is the one who's like the leader of Shinra, wears all white, like the white coat and everything like that. And it was a fanfic where they were in love with each other, like typical BL stuff. But there was also Mpreg. That was the first time I ever heard of Mpreg.
My God.
Where like somehow one of them gets the other pregnant, and I was like, this is a thing, and this was apparently like, you know, fan fictions back then. That was the key word, where there was entire Mpreg genre of
Yep.
Oh, that's terrible. I don't want that to be me.
Yeah, that's gonna be you and Hebrew.
Mpreg. But anyway, besides Manuel's pregnancy, what are Heidi's predictions for 2019?
Let's see. I predict that sometime during 2019, A to J people will come over to Japan and we'll do some kind of cool something. We'll interview someone.
Yeah, that'll happen.
No, I'll have my official debut, like I'll have my major debut, and then you guys will interview me.
Oh my God.
Yes.
It's funny you bring that up, because like I go back and forth with trying to interview you in general, and it's never happened after all these years. And this isn't a recent thing. This was like way back when you were still here. This was when you were still here, and it was like, let's interview Heidi. Like back when I was going to interview all the performers, like you, Tiffany, etc. But then after a while, it's like people get so involved. I feel weird interviewing them. Like even though I wouldn't do it, but I still feel weird having. It seems very like self-congratulatory to interview your own people, you know, in a weird way like that. So I don't know. I'll still interview, but I like the connotation that you're gonna be so big that we can't really talk to you. Otherwise, we have to set up an interview. Then again, if you remember, I told you this one time. I told you this more than once, I think actually. In my ideal Heidi career world or whatever. It'd be awesome if you got so big that we could no longer talk regularly. Like, you know, I couldn't reach out. Like, we couldn't do this. That'd be pretty awesome. It would suck, too.
Pretty awesome.
It would suck, too.
But
it'd be awesome as well. It's like, oh, messaging Heidi for a podcast, that ain't going to happen, you know? Or whatever. Konaru, what are your predictions for 2019?
For AJ?
Yeah.
Y'all come over here to Texas for something.
I want to go for Akon.
That's not Matsuri.
Yeah, we'll see. Like, the problem is like I don't really want to go by myself, and nobody wanted to. Even still, I think nobody would go to anything except for Matsuri, but they won't because it's Matsuri. But as in like, you know, the guests or whatever, it would be Matsuri or nothing. And I know for a fact like At Home's going there again. And they're getting all the Godzilla people who... Yeah, they've already soft announced At Home, by the way. But At Home's going to be there again. Godzilla, like all the new Godzilla movie people are going to be there again. They've announced Lady Baby? Yeah, Lady Baby. I was like, are going to be there. So
check my Twitter to help them not go.
We are planning an anti-anime Matsuri podcast eventually. I want to see what weekends are open before I start like asking people to be on it. But anyway, any other predictions before we start like going down the road of wrapping this up, Heidi? Pido? I called you Pido, by the way. I don't even know what that is.
What?
Like,
my bunny is gonna grow to be the size of a dog.
Yes.
No, that second bunny that I mentioned, the one that like, yeah, the second bunny we had was really big. Like it wasn't a dog, but it was like the size of probably like a pretty decent sized cat. So it was a pretty large. With a large bunny, we had to get it in a much bigger cage because like it had a tiny. The cage was fine when it was a baby, but the cage when it got like its biggest, it would like hop to the other end and it was done, hop back and forth basically. But it was a big cage. But it was like it would hop one side. It's out of cage. Which is why I think it would always try to like escape before it got like. It wasn't even that big. Anyway, I don't want to talk more about bunnies. Then here we are talking about bunnies again for like a half hour like we did earlier. But So we'll start the slow process wrapping this up. ALA is coming up. That's a really soft prediction because that's what's actually happening. We're all going to be there except for Heidi.
Oh,
Heidi should come. It's fun. Just come.
Heidi should come.
Okay.
Lots of podcast plans. I was going to put this at the very end, but after tonight, we're off for like 2 weeks. We don't come back to January 8th. And yeah, because the next 2 Tuesdays are Christmas and New Year's respectively. And to be honest, I kind of would have taken those weeks off anyway, but unless we move the date, we can't anyway. So there you go. But on the 8th, we're coming back with Kelsey. She's also another OIC person, does a little idol stuff. And she's also a Twitch streamer in her own right. So she's actually she's a partner, and she's not like, I mean, it's not hard to become a partner, but she's a partner. She's pretty popular. I was like snooping on her stuff recently, but anyway, she's gonna be on talking about like toys, anime figures, and other nonsense. I'll be talking Tamagotchis. I've been like collecting those like crazy recently, but she'll be talking anime figures and other merch and other stuff in between. And then we have a lot of other things planned, but the only other one that's in stone is that on the 12th of February, mark your calendars, Maniac from Homicidal is going to be back on again, and we're going to be talking. Yeah, we're going to be talking representation of idols in the West, like a more open-ended thing. We're not going to talk really about all titles, about concerts and about like it'll be awesome. So yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I will say like, maybe Heidi could be on it, but I don't know. 'Cause your schedule might be all weird because it's like it'll be the year. But we'll see. We'll talk. It's months away. It's 2 months away anyway. And if not, then that is what it is. We'll get Heidi another 0.5 one eventually. Follow us on if you go to Twitch. I've already started a calendar up until the end of February. All the episodes are going to be for sure to the end of February, scheduled the way they are, barring personal things or whatever happens. So keep an eye on that. I'll try to have it all updated before the end of the year. I want all the slots filled. Happy holidays, everyone! Like, I feel like we haven't said that at all. And it's funny because, like, I don't know if you noticed, Konaru, but Megan was wearing a Santa-y outfit last week.
Yeah, didn't you notice?
I didn't notice. She was wearing it because, like, Sylvia, when she was on, she wore full-on Santa with a beard and a hat and everything, a Miss Claus type thing, you know, like a full-on one. But when Megan was on, I didn't notice she was wearing a thing until like I was going back and I was like doing the little edits, and I'm like, and I saw her like shuffle around. I'm like, oh, she's wearing a Santa outfit too, because her color was off. I told you like her lighting was all weird. It looked brown, it didn't look red. So anyway, she was wearing Santa though. Rip. Heidi should have wore Santa.
I should have.
No, her outfit's cute.
It is cute. I like her shoulders. I like her ruffly shoulders.
I know. It's so ruffly.
They're so ruffly. Anyhow, that's that. Thanks. Oh, it's 2020. Heidi's bunny grows to the size of a Guild Wars 2 Springer, and she rides it around Tokyo. That'd be kind of awesome. There's this game. I don't remember the name of it. There's this game. It's like Tokyo something, where you're like, you played like a tiger or a wolf or something like that. I forget what it is. And you go around a post-apocalyptic Tokyo, like surviving, like eating other animals. It's an awesome game. It's from a long time. It's like from like 6-8 years ago. I forgot what it was called. God, if anyone remembers the name of that game, let me know. I love that game. Let's see if it's on Steam. I know it was on PS3. I want to see if it's on any other system. But anyway, Tokyo something. I forgot the name of it. So that's that. Are you gonna break a UO? Did you break the UO?
Yes. Yes. Ready?
There you
go. Oh, crap.
Is that the way you break it?
Yay!
Oh my God, that's so bright. Anyhow, thanks to our patrons.
It's literally fire in my hand.
It is. Thanks to our patrons, Ed and Kenneth. If you want to support us on Patreon, patreon.com/ADJConnections. Follow us, ADJ_info, Facebook.com/ADJConnections, all that good stuff. Links below. Happy holidays, Happy New Year, happy whatever you celebrate. And we'll see you all next year. Thanks everyone for joining and supporting and watching us. Like, comment, subscribe. Good night. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.